Today we're talking about the Kettlebell Push Press. This is a lift where you're going to utilize leg drive in order to assist the press itself. The push press can be used to work into higher rep ranges or heavier weights than you would otherwise be able to perform with the strict press technique. And at the end of the day, more volume and heavier weights equals bigger, stronger shoulders. So with that said, let's dive into the kettlebell push press technique. Clean the kettlebell and narrow your stance as you would in the strict press. Dip into a quarter squat while keeping an upright back, allowing the knees to travel forwards. Explosively stand up, squeezing the quads and glutes tight. The momentum will pop the kettlebell off your shoulders. Flex the triceps hard to stick the lockout. Elbows straight and biceps by ears. You have three options for the negative. First, pull the kettlebell down slowly, as in the strict press, for more high tension strength in the lower rep ranges. Second, allow the kettlebell to fall under control back to the rack position, where you will catch in a shallow dip similar to what you use to initiate the press. Launching right into the next rep from this dip and resting at the top is called the Viking Push Press. And lastly, you can dissipate the impact by catching the kettlebell into a full squat. Launching right into the next rep from that squat is called a long push press or a thruster. Another subtle way the push press is different from the strict military press is in the grip and muscular engagement through the arms. Now, generally speaking, we want to grip the kettlebell handle tight in the military press in order to maximize strength and stability through the arms and the shoulders. But the push press is more about speed, so too much tension is actually counterproductive. For this reason, you'll want to keep a looser grip on the kettlebell and focus on pure tricep strength. Here are a few common push press mistakes to watch out for. First is the tendency to lean forwards in the dip and allow the elbow to become disconnected from the torso. This just weakens your setup and often causes the kettlebell to drift forwards in the press. The next mistake is pressing the kettlebell prematurely. Now, even though this is a fast movement, the push press is an exercise in patience. You'll want to wait until the knees and hips are extended in order to take full advantage of the momentum they create to assist the press. The next mistake is settling for a soft or incomplete overhead lockout. Just don't let the speed of the push press shortchange your range of motion or emphasis on that stable lockout. The last point isn't technically a mistake, but just something to keep in mind. You'll see many lifters come up off the heels in the push press, and this isn't necessarily a bad thing considering we're powering the weight vertically. But especially when you're first learning this lift, I suggest a focus on rooting the feet to the floor, as this encourages more tightness through the legs, glutes, and core. Sure, jump the heels if you really need to, but don't overemphasize that as part of the learning process. Like I mentioned, the push press gives us the opportunity to get in more work, more volume overhead, and handle heavier weights than you would otherwise be able to strict press. So from a programming perspective, the push press is great to throw into a complex or a metabolic conditioning session where you really want to get the heart rate up, work those lungs in that overhead position. More on the strength side, if you push press heavier weights for lower repetitions, that's a great way to get acquainted with heavier kettlebells as your strict press strength increases. And that does it for the push press. As always, thanks for watching the video to the end, and you can check out more of my kettlebell training resources in the description below. Here's wishing you all the best in your training, and we'll see you in the next video.